Hello everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. This time we got a tutorial on how to make sourdough rolls. This is my wife Anna. She's really good at cooking, even though I kind of am skinny. She's really good at cooking, I can tell you that. And she's going to go through the steps on how she creates her sourdough rolls. So let's get to it.
Well, first we're going to start with 3.5 cups of water. It's just room temperature water. Then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of sugar. This is organic sugar. This helps actually feed the beneficial bacteria in the starter. And then we're going to get 1 cup of active bubbly sourdough starter.
You said you fed that this morning?
I fed it this morning. I also fed it last night before I went to bed. So.
And when you mean you feed it, that means that?
I add a mixture of flour. Well, I add water and flour to it and stir it up.
All right. If you want to know more about how to feed your sourdough starter, maybe look down in the comment section down below and we'll have some more details on that down there. And you can actually make your own sourdough starter using bacteria that's airborne. It will actually start a starter by itself naturally, which is very interesting. Or you can buy starter from various sources, probably even on Amazon. So what, you just put 1 cup in there right at this point?
Yeah, 1 cup of sourdough starter, and then I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon of salt, and this is pink Himalayan sea salt, or pink Himalayan salt. And now we're ready to stir it up. Oh, I almost forgot. We have melted butter. This is 1 stick or half a cup of melted butter.
I'll grab the camera and then you guys can get a front row seat.
Now we're going to add some flour.
Gonna add a little bit of flour.
I like to put my flour cups in mounds in the bowl just because sometimes I get interrupted or distracted or lose track of my counting, and I like to go back and be able to count how many cups I've added. Saves a mistake here and there.
It's especially helpful, folks, if you're making your own videos because it's easy to forget. But it is helpful, especially if you have a busy household like we do and interruptions. Five.
That's 5 and 6 and.
What kind of flour is that?
This is organic all-purpose flour.
That's 7. You like to get your flour from Azure Standard?
Mm-hmm.
Azure Standard is one of the best places to get food supplies, right, babe?
Yeah.
Yeah, we heartily endorse Azure Standard. Good folks and good food. So now you're mixing it up?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of the mistakes that we've found when you're making rolls is it's easy to add too much flour. It tends to make a dense, heavy roll. If you err on the side of less flour, then the rolls are lighter and fluffier. They rise higher and are more tender.
So you want a more soupy, wet dough?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little harder to handle, but in the long run, it's worth it. Your rolls turn out better. It does make it easier as far as you can do a no-knead method. You don't have to knead and knead the dough.
Yeah, that's handy.
So we're just going to stir this up until the flour is worked into the liquid and let it rest for 20 minutes.
So a nice soft mixture. Get it evenly kneaded in and mixed in. While she's doing that, I'll show you another batch of rolls that is in the making back there behind her on the counter. Right back here. All right, there's another batch of rolls.
Those ones have rested overnight in the fridge. Yeah, they were in the fridge. Some of them I put in the garage where it was cooler, and then those were in the fridge, so they're ready to go into the oven.
Here's a couple got a little toasted, but here is some amazing, amazing boules of sourdough bread. Look at those. Yum. That looks really good, babe. Well, so what does our mix look like now here?
It's coming together. Just trying to make sure there's no more major lumps or streaks of flour that are hiding under here.
Well, this is the first time we've done a food cooking video, so we're anxious to see what you guys think. Leave us a comment in the section down below and give us a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe if you like it. We have a bunch of videos on gardening, and maybe in the future we'll have some more on woodworking and homesteading. We have some videos on canning your own tomato sauce, and hopefully we'll get more into the food preparation and food side of things. But if you like our videos, please like and subscribe, and I think we'll be back in a few minutes after we can let this sit. How long do we let it sit, babe?
20 minutes.
20 minutes? All right. And what are we looking for at the end of 20 minutes? Because we could have different temperatures that would affect how fast it rises or whatever. What are you looking for when in 20 minutes on this dough?
It just relaxes the gluten. The flour has a chance to absorb the moisture of the water, and it gets relaxed, and the gluten is ready to be stretched a little bit into a good texture that will turn out to make good roll texture in the end.
All right, so we're back now. What do we have here, sweetie?
Well, I just had it covered. I forgot to mention that last time. While it was resting for 20 minutes, but now we have our dough, and it is ready to turn out of the bowl, and we're going to turn it.
So I'd like to show the viewers what that looks like right now in the bowl before you dump it out. Here's the dough in the bowl, and this is what it looks like. Let's see if we can get somewhat of an idea of what it looks like. And you said it relaxed over that time, so the dough itself doesn't look as choppy and as stiff and rough. Okay, yeah, it does. It does look like it's smoothed out. Okay.
So we're just gonna sprinkle some flour down on the counter first before we turn it out of the bowl, so it doesn't stick to the counter.
Now what are you gonna do?
You'll see. We're gonna fold it.
Fold it?
Yeah. While it's out of the bowl, I'm gonna go ahead and put some olive oil in the bowl for next time we put it in so that it will be easier to take out in the future. I'm just doing this now before I get my hands all gooey in the dough because it is sticky. Okay, so we're just gonna kind of pull this up, stretch it a little bit, fold it on itself, do the same thing there. You can see it's very relaxed and stretchy. I'm gonna do it a few times and till it's kind of a nice firm ball, and we're gonna just kind of tuck the bottom under so that it's a nice smooth ball, and then we're gonna just put it in here. I'm actually gonna turn it upside down first and then turn it right side up so it coats that top of the dough with a little bit of the oil, and then your plastic wrap or whatever you cover it with won't stick as it rises. And it's gonna rise all day until it's doubled. And we'll come back to it and shape it into rolls.
It's going to rise how many hours approximately?
I think it's 10 to 12, yeah, depending on the temperature in your house, or if you are rising it in a cool place or where you're rising it, yeah.
So how do you tell when it's done?
Well, when it's doubled.
It's doubled in
Yeah.
size. So in this case, would it be coming out the top of the bowl or what?
It would probably be up about to the top of the bowl, yeah. Well, it's been 8 hours now, and our dough has doubled here. It's risen up to the top of the bowl, and all nice and spongy. So it's ready to shape. I'm just gonna pour a little oil on the counter so it doesn't stick to the counter, and we'll dump it out of the bowl. Did you want to take a look at the bowl and see what it looks like before I dump it out, or do you want me to just dump it?
Yeah, I can. All right.
Out it goes. This is where oiling the bowl was helpful because it doesn't stick near as much if you oil the bowl. Now we're just going to shape the rolls, so I'm going to get some oil on my hands here and just kind of make rolls. Want kind of a smooth skin on them, and then we'll just place them on the tray.
Pretty fast at that. A lot faster than I would be.
I've done a few of them by now.
It's kind of like comparing how fast you are at fixing a tractor. Look how uniform those are. I told you she's a good cook.
These are going to rise quite a bit. They'll probably double again, or close to double, so you're going to fill up those gaps.
So when these rolls are ready to put in the oven, they're going to be, there's still going to be visible paper between them or not?
Not so much. I just shaped these ones 10 minutes ago, and they're already closing the gaps up quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
And then when they're finished, of course, then they're going to look like this, and there's no real gaps on those ones, so that kind of shows you what they look like when they're all done.
Yeah.
So yeah, the wild yeast is the only thing that is the rising action in these. There's no commercial yeast, just the sourdough starter.
Is there any reason you twist that dough as you're forming it, or how do you do that really efficiently? Can you show me or explain?
Well, the reason
what
why
your method
I'm
is?
kind of tightening it is if the top is nice and smooth and tight, it helps with how it rises, I guess. The structure of the dough in the roll, and it just helps create a higher rise and a smoother surface in the end.
Mm-hmm. So I see you kind of roll it up, and then so when the rolls are done, they're gonna have a better structure inside that.
Mm-hmm. It helps them rise
the roll.
higher, actually.
Okay.
There's different ways to do it. Some people, they'll take the dough and kind of flatten it out and roll it like this, and then roll it again so that it's smooth, and then tuck the edges under. And then this is another way you can do it. Tighten the skin up like that, and you end up with about what I am doing, but it just takes longer.
Okay.
And so this is quicker and seems to work well. So this is what I do, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we're getting a lot of tasty rolls there. Looks like it's just about full.
Mm-hmm.
Shaping up to be a yummy tray of rolls.
It's a little bigger than I want it.
Some people put flour on their countertops for this part or not?
Yeah, you can.
You like oil? Why?
Then I'm not working a lot of extra flour into the dough, and it doesn't make the rolls tough, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Too much flour in there is just what makes the rolls tougher, and so I think they're fluffier if they're not so heavy. They're lighter weight and fluffier.
Yeah. Well, is that it for this
That's it for now.
this phase? We got a
Yep, we have a
little
little
leftover
bit
pile. We
extra.
can
We'll throw
make
in.
a few more on another tray, and then
Mhm.
here's our main tray. All right, formed rolls. All right, well, we will be back in a few moments with the next step.
Good morning. These are the rolls. They've risen overnight in the garage where it was cooler, so they didn't rise too fast. I didn't want to be putting them in the oven at 2 this morning, so they spent the night where it was cool, and now they've risen. I had some oiled plastic wrap over them just to keep them nice and moist.
So you put oil on the plastic wrap and then just laid it over the rolls?
Yeah, so it doesn't stick. When you take it off, it comes off, peels off nice and doesn't destroy the texture of the top of the rolls.
Oh, those look beautiful. So how filled are they? How filled in are they? Oh yeah. That looks yummy. All right, so next step is?
Put them in the oven.
All right.
The oven's been preheating. It's at 375 degrees. 375. So they go in there for about 20 minutes. And that's about it until we check and see how done they're getting. Well, I think the rolls are done. Let's have a look. Let's turn this off. They look pretty good. I think I'm going to leave them in there for, I don't know if I should leave them in there another minute. You can see right down in these cracks right here in the light, it almost looks a little bit transparent or doughy looking still. So I might leave them in there for another 2 minutes. So I'm going to turn them around so they get evenly baked, and I'm going to leave them in there for a couple minutes more. So we'll do another 2 minutes. Okay, well, it's been more like 5 minutes now, so we're going to get them out of the oven now. So, here they are. They look a bit better than last time, so I think they're looking done. One trick that I do sometimes is rub the tops with butter while they're still warm, and it kind of gives a nice finish to them. So I'm going to do that.
Let's have a look at those. They look really good, babe. So the last step is to make sure that you can keep your kids away from eating them. Those look really good.
This also helps keep them soft, keeps the crust softer. If you like a soft crust, and there, that's it. We have nice, fresh, hot rolls out of the oven.
Well, I can't wait to give it a taste test. Hope you enjoyed that tutorial. Thank you for showing everyone how to make your delicious sourdough rolls. If you have any questions or comments, put them in the comment section down below. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and most of all, remember, Jesus loves you.